morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for this T&L Talk. As all of you know, on the 19th, we're moving into the next phase of our educational journey here in Round Rock ISD during this pandemic. Since last March, we've navigated many challenges together. And you may remember that early on during this situation, I started talking with you about the challenges that were ahead and how I knew in Round Rock ISD, we've got this. We're learning together and from one another, and we're learning new and innovative ways to approach education, things we thought we would never do before. We're learning there's more than one right way to approach a classroom environment, and many of you are living it. All of you are living that right now. We have teachers who are teaching completely virtually. All of their learners are in a virtual environment and not present physically with them. We have others who are teaching on campuses in person, and that environment looks very different from what it did before. And then some of you are teaching blended classrooms, in which you have some students who are virtual and some who are there in front of you. Regardless of the environment that you're in, you're adapting, you're learning from each other, and I couldn't be more proud of the things that I'm seeing going on across this district. Our situation is evolving. And I want you to know that as that situation continues to evolve, we're with you every step of the way. We're here to connect you with others. We're here to support you. We're here to walk alongside you. We've still got this as the situation continues to adapt and change. In the T&L Talk, we're going to connect you weekly with stories of Round Rock ISD teachers who are trying new things, who are learning together, who sometimes are making mistakes and learning from those mistakes, and that's okay. But we want to share with you the good things that are going on across this district so that we can continue to learn and adapt together, because we've got this. In today's T&L Talk, I want to introduce Autumn Hebert. Autumn's going to share a few Schoology grading tips with you, and we'll continue to bring these types of tips to you weekly. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Really appreciate your time. Keep doing great things with kids, because you are.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to have the opportunity to share with you some tips and tricks that we've learned in our conversations with Schoology. Our hope is that these tips will help alleviate some of the issues you may be seeing with syncing grades from Schoology to TAC. The first one is bulk edit. This is an easy way to see in one spot all of your assignments for a course to make edits. What we've learned is that issues with assignments can definitely impact syncing from Schoology to TAC. To access bulk edit, just click on your gradebook and select the three dots on the right side of your screen. Select bulk edit and you'll see all of the assignments for your course. You can check to make sure no categories are missing, the publish button is selected, and your due dates are correct. Once you click save, you're all set. Another tool to share is track revisions. This is helpful if you have one or two students who report that their assignment hasn't been graded, maybe is missing, and you want to confirm when the assignment was submitted. You'll access this in your gradebook, and this time you'll click on the three dots for the specific assignment. Toggle down and select track revisions, and from there you'll see each student listed. When you click on a student name, you'll be able to see their submissions. Here you'll also have the functionality to revert back to a grade and/or see the history once an update was made. So let's say you found an error in bulk edit or tracking revisions. You'll want to update the sync from Schoology to TAC. For this, you'll want to click on eSchool Plus. What we have found is rather than syncing changes for all of the assignments, go ahead and click on the sync button for the specific assignment. Our testing has shown this goes much faster than trying to click the sync changes button that's typically here at the top of the screen. And for a bonus tip, we understand that sometimes co-teachers are unable to see assignments once they've been added to a course. So I've included a link to a quick 3-minute video from Schoology. This will walk you through the steps to make sure Google Drive folders are set up correctly. Thanks for your time and have a great day.
Thank you, Autumn, for sharing those updates that we put together this week around Schoology Gradebook and Passback and Bulk Edit and a few other ways that we're continuing to We meet with Schoology weekly and really troubleshoot some of the different things that we're learning and we're hearing from campuses to try to make things as smooth as possible as we head into this next grading period. Because there's going to continue to be schedule changes. There's going to continue to be new ways that we learn to be more efficient and use these new tools that have helped guide us through this pandemic and through this time of change, and it's going to continue to happen. And we're going to continue to share them here. I just want to make a couple updates this week because we are going to be renewing our focus through the Teaching and Learning blog around ways that we can share stories with one another about how teaching and learning has changed in our classrooms throughout Round Rock ISD, all the way back to the spring. And then as we started this fall school year, and now as we're moving into this next grading period, as more students return to campus, as more teachers return to teaching from the building, and really the best way that we think we can continue to help us learn together, teacher to teacher, campus to campus, learning community to learning community, is to share our stories, share the great things that are happening, share the mistakes that we're all making along the way, and how we can learn together and learn from one another. So you're going to start seeing coming from our teaching and learning team weekly, different stories featuring teachers from around Round Rock ISD. Could be a PLC, could be an individual teacher. And they're really just going to be talking about what they've learned through trial and error, whether it's what they learned this week as maybe they jumped into facilitating a blended classroom where some kids are learning from the classroom and some kids are learning from home virtually or from another place virtually. Different ideas they've had around how they're going to actually set up everything from the technical piece of their classroom to how they're going to change some of their lessons and how they're going to start with a lesson and really work backwards from there and decide, what some things worked and some things didn't work that they tried. But there's really no, right way to do what we're doing at this point. We're learning as we go, and we're starting small, but we're moving fast, and we're learning along the way, and we're not afraid to make adjustments. I think I read this somewhere that, even Hattie, we talk about Hattie and his effect sizes. He doesn't have an effect size for teaching a blended classroom with some kids there and some kids at home in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, there's no playbook for this. So when in doubt, in that case, I really believe the best way that we can learn together is by sharing our stories and sharing our mistakes, sharing our successes. And you're going to see coming from the Teaching and Learning blog as well as the podcast, several stories. And we're really going to ask these teachers for their resources, actual step-by-step how they went through the decision-making around the decisions that they made regarding instruction, assessment, and grading in their classrooms. So the first story is going to come out this week. We're going to be featuring a English language arts teacher from C.D. Folks Middle School, Miss Michelle Oliver. Many of you may know her, but she's stepped right out there and she's trying some new things with a blended classroom. And she's going to share a lot of her resources, and we're going to learn together with her. And we're going to continue to feature different stories of Round Rock ISD teachers over the next several weeks. So if you have teachers or you yourself or somebody that, is trying something and maybe it worked the way you thought, maybe it didn't, but you learned along the way and you believe that you can help not only yourself learn new things, but help your colleagues around the district. We want to hear from you. And we want to learn from you. We want to learn together. So please post something in the ARC Schoology group. I believe that's probably the best place for you to deliver some feedback that's going to go district-wide. There's several thousand teachers that are members of that group. And we're going to be posting a survey in there to start gathering a lot of information from you that we can share, and we can use that to guide our practice around creating this content, creating this training material that will be coming out routinely. So my two asks, make sure that you do go to that ARC Schoology group, give your feedback, as well as be on the lookout in your email for the T&L Talk, that comes from the professional_development at Round Rock ISD email account. And if you get a chance to subscribe to our podcast, we're going to be sharing a lot of resources and interviews of Round Rock ISD teachers over the next several weeks. So wherever you're watching this video, there's going to be a place for you to subscribe to the podcast there, as well as grab a link to that blog and be on the lookout for an email. So thank you for your time. Lots of resources coming out this week. And to wrap us up, I'm going to turn it back to our Chief of Teaching and Learning, Miss Mandy Esses.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us this week. We appreciate the gift of your time. We hope these weekly T&L Talks, full of stories, strategies, and ideas, will help and inspire you as we adapt and change in this journey together. We want to hear from you, so please do head on over to the ARC Schoology group and give us your feedback. We want to know what content works for you and what's the most helpful. Again, thanks for joining us today, and have a wonderful week.